Hello, welcome and welcome back. This is Jacob and today we are gonna be both beginning and ending the narration and character voice acting for the side story Grani and the Knights' Treasure. So first and foremost, before we begin, thank you very much for all the votes that came in on the recent community poll where I put this story up against another side story, which was Operational Intelligence. This obviously won, so we are gonna be covering this one, and as you can see and hear from me saying it, this is gonna be a single episode to cover pretty much the entire thing, cause yes, this is one of those stories. Well, it's the earliest side story that was added into the game, and therefore it kinda suffers from the same syndrome that the earliest main story chapters were also suffering, which is the story is very short. The story is very short, and I'll show you in a bit when we get to the stages. However, like I said, thank you very much for all the votes that came in, and when it comes to the other side story, Operational Intelligence, we shall cover that at another point. But as of this recording, this week will be, or rather the rest, or second half of the week will be very busy with the Monster Hunter event, so that story will be covered on the channel, obviously. So please, look forward to that one. I know I am personally looking forward to it. But yeah, we'll be busy and we shall cover the other one at another point. But yeah, this is the earliest side story that was added into the game, so let me give you a short little introduction. First and foremost, the game, when it comes to its, just from a global release standpoint speaking, the game originally released in January 2020. This side story released not even a full month later, which was at the beginning of February 2020. Now, I'm pointing these two dates out because this side story is essentially a progenitor for two big stories that will spring up from it, or rather from some bits and pieces of lore and certain other things present in it, into two bigger side stories. One of them being the Nearl storyline that takes place in Kazimierz, obviously, where this also takes place, even though with this one we are more on the outskirts than in the big center where the Nearl storyline will be taking place. But yeah, if you are new to Arknights and haven't had the opportunity to read or see anything about the Nearl storyline in its whole, I pretty much did narrations on every single one of those stories, which you can find links to in the description of this video, from start to finish, numerical order, and yeah, have fun. The other side story that will spring up from this one, and you can tell already by skadi's presence, is the Abyssal Hunter storyline, which will be beginning in Undertides, continuing in Stultifera, and even be further expanded upon by the permanent mode in the game, which is Integrated Strategies 3, or Mizuki and Cerulean Arbor. And yes, I know that the majority of the stuff in Mizuki and Cerulean Arbor is what-if scenarios. However, Ending 1 still canonical, the texts attached to Ending 1 still canonical, and even if the timeline of stuff and things that happen to people, the world, and in general in IS-3, in the other portions of it, are non-canon to the world building, or rather the world timeline of the major timeline of the game, it still holds a lot of lore. So if you want to know even more when it comes to Abyssal Hunter, Seaborn, Aegir, and stuff like that, I would highly encourage to go and seek it out. And if you want so, I did narrations and coverage of all of that already here on the channel, so enjoy. But yeah, all of that linked in the description of this video. Anyway, as you can see, there is a lot that will eventually down the line come out of this thing. Funnily enough, the one key piece that will link this story to the Abyssal Hunter story outside of Skadi, that I'm not going to be talking about right now, you'll see what it is when we get to it, will not come into action until Stultifera Navis. I am laughing about this because it will be a long time. How long, you might be asking? Well, as a reminder, this came out in February 2020. Stultifera Navis came out in November 2022. And I'm very grateful. If I remember correctly, they actually mentioned where this single thing is from in Stultifera Navis, because I guarantee you, as much as I like this story, 2.5 years later, I'll probably not remember a lot of things. But yeah, that's enough for an introduction. So let us begin here on our splash page with our introductory text for Grani and the Knights' treasure. And it reads here as follows. Dewville, a remote village in Kazimierz, has been occupied by bounty hunters. These bounty hunters indiscriminately rampage and ruin, apparently in an attempt to find the Knights' treasure said to be buried here. After receiving a request for help, Mounted Police Grani volunteers to resolve the problem. Can she really drive off the bounty hunters? Will she find the mysterious Knights' treasure? Will peace return to Dewville? Let's find it out. Let's indeed. So, as I mentioned, this looks a bit shorter and a bit different to what we are used to later down the line. There are no cutscene only parts, it is only stages, and every single one of these has a before and after part, but trust me, it is very short. There is also a story that takes place here on the EX stages. EX1, EX3, HX1 and HX3 both carry after parts of the story, so once we're done with the main narrative, we shall be covering that as well to sort of fill out the blanks and set up the plot for what's to come. And before we also begin, obviously I will be including the battle stage into the narration as I usually do, so stage 6's battle will be part of the video. But one thing I will not be including is the description of every single unit that is present throughout these stages, as I usually do them. Mostly because just to showcase, the enemies are something that we have been, or rather, enemies that we have been fighting for ages at this point, and therefore I will not be adding them into the description. However, I will be obviously including the boss of stage 6. However, there is another boss on HX-3 whose description I will also be including here in the description. However, that stage I will not be showing it in this video because I am pretty much only including battle stages that are, like, you know, part of the lore of the story that is unfolding, and that one is kind of a bonus, but it's a welcome bonus when it comes to the introduction of the boss. Okay, with all of that out of the way, let us begin on stage 1. So then, titled High Noon, it says, sand is blowing wildly outside Kazimierz. Down from the abandoned gallows there is a greedy, cunning rioter, while behind him stands a knight who has just crossed the desert alone with nothing but the lance in her hand. It burns. It hurts. So, the bench still won't speak up. So thirsty. My throat feels like it's on fire. How long have I been here? Huh. What a trooper. He's been dangling here for more than a day, but she won't crack. Oi, don't kill her off just yet. She still hasn't told us where the treasure is. I'm not telling you anything. Have it your way then. Don't give her any water until she decides to cooperate. Am I going to die? So, even in Kazimierz, the ruffians run amok everywhere. Hmm? Huh? Who the hell are you? You got a death wish? Oi, kiddo, hurry and scram before... That hurt! That outfit of his is not from these parts. Who the hell cares where he's from? The moron sure doesn't value his life if he wants to fight us all by himself.
So, I'm guessing the diplomatic approach isn't going to work. Good. They won't be bothering us for a while. Let's leave while we still can. Who are you? Don't be afraid. Nobody's going to hurt you anymore. I'll get you out of here. I'm sorry. My head is still spinning. You look pretty pale. Don't worry. Let me carry you then. Hold on tight.
Clear. Visibility 14 kilometers. Nearby village. Have any of you seen a kid with a spear? I was inside the whole time. I didn't see what was going on outside. You're gonna be real damn sorry if I found out you've been hiding them. They've left, Miss Grani. It's safe for you two to come out now.
Looks like I owe you another one, mister.
Are you okay, Carol? I'm sorry you had to go through that.
Thank you. Look, I'm doing much better now. I would have been able to rescue you without everyone's help.
Don't worry, Carol. We've been helping out this young knight here. She's promised she'd save our village.
Huh? She? That's right. I'm a girl. Huh? Oh, come on. I might not look it, but I'm a proper maiden on the inside. Sorry. It's hard to tell from your outfit, but... Excuse me, are you the knight from Kazimierz who was recently anointed? After you save our village, will you make us pay tribute? No. I'm not actually a knight, nor am I even from Kazimierz. Even though Victoria does have knights, I was actually just a member of the mounted police. Unlike the knights, our only job is to maintain public security. We don't ask for any payment in our line of duty, so of course, we wouldn't tax you. Victoria? It's the land that lies beyond Kazimierz. My ancestors were actually all Karantas, who moved there from Kazimierz. I came after receiving your village's request for aid. I also wanted to see what my parents' homeland was like. But, I didn't expect the situation to be so dire. Sending those pleas for help felt like leaving messages in the bottle. We're used to most non-governmental organizations ignoring us because we're in such a remote location. I wonder, why didn't the Kazimierz government send out any assistance? Why would those high and mighty knights even bother coming all the way out here? Even without their help, we've lived here peacefully for many years. The hustle and bustle of the city simply has no appeal for us. For generations, the people of Dewville have lived by these mountains. We might not be wealthy, but we do have a self-sufficient way of life. And though we've sometimes had to evacuate to escape from catastrophes, this is still our home. That's why we can't give up this land. But the bounty hunters have brought destruction in their wake. All because of those knights' treasures. Over the last few years, the villages around here have become the bounty hunters' stopping grounds. I heard that the region in the northern part of Kazimierz has been in turmoil, and that has attracted hordes of bounty hunters looking to strike it rich. Apparently, the only way to get up north runs right by our village. In the past, plenty of bounty hunters used to pass through, but they never caused any problems. But about a month ago, some bounty hunters dug up a knight's sarcophagus from these mountains. They even found a small chest of gold coins. Gold coins with the Kazimierz crest on them like these? Those bounty hunters tried to pick a fight with me as soon as I arrived. I relieved them of these coins as compensation for their rudeness. These are the same coins. Our troubles began when a certain saying began to circulate among the bounty hunters. The ancient knights of Kazimierz were all buried with their riches near the lands they once called home. Their souls protect these unmarked graves for all of eternity. Only those who fear not sacrifice and possess the true, dauntless bloodline of Kazimierz may open the path. Rumors such as these keep spreading, and more bounty hunters have been drawn here. At first, all they used to do was discuss where to look for the next big find, but for some reason they soon started spreading the idea that the villagers knew where the treasures were buried. Shh! Everyone quiet!
What do you mean you couldn't find them? Double check and search harder this time.
It's not safe to stay here. We can't let any more innocents get dragged into this. Anyway, let's get out of here first.
Stay safe out there, Miss Knight. I mean, officer. Please take care of our chief.
Don't worry, mister. I'll be sure to protect... Huh? Chief? I've only been on the job about half a year, but it'd be me. I might not look it, but I'm a proper chief on the inside.
And we go over to the after part.
It's so dark in this corridor, and there's barely any space. Sorry, it's still just a tiny attic after all, but at least it's easy to stay hidden here. The bounty hunters destroyed the mills, the warehouses, and even the electrical room. They probably won't bother looking in this tiny place. Hope you're right. Looks like the two of us can just barely squeeze into this crevice. Carol, don't you think your face is a bit too close to mine? Sorry, officer? Don't worry about the officer stuff, just call me Grani. Grani, you said earlier that you found our village's request for aid. Yes, and in that request you mentioned that you actually do have information regarding some treasure? The location of the treasure as well as the key required to open it are secretly passed from chieftain to chieftain, from one generation to the next. I can't tell you anything more specific though. Sorry, I'm not trying to hide anything from you. Don't worry, we can talk about it after I've fully earned your trust. Those bounty hunters have been threatening us ever since they found out about this. They destroyed our farmland, stole our winter rations, and even been harassing the villagers. If I don't offer myself up, the village would have been done for. As long as they knew that I held the key to the treasure, they wouldn't hurt the villagers anymore. But you had to suffer like that. I'm aware that it was just a short-term solution. I'm glad you made it. Oh, Miss Carol. We may have asked you to help us find the treasure in our message, but what we really wanted was to get rid of those pesky bounty hunters and restore peace to our village. For us, mentioning that treasure was the only solution we had. Gold coins or whatever, those will be spent one day, but this land is the only home we have, and we plan to stay here forever. Using the treasure to hire someone else to throw out the bounty hunters is another option. If there's enough funds in there, you could even hire a small army of mercenaries. Now that we have a plan, we just need to find some way of slipping past these hooligans and leaving the village. You can see the outside from this window. It seems a bit high. Miss Carol, can you try looking outside the window and seeing if the bounty hunters are still looking for us? I can't reach it either. The window's too high up. I'll hold you up then. Can you see better now? Okay, I can see... Miss Carol, stop wriggling around so much. But what was that? Just now, someone flew right by the window?
Can you see why this is so short? Compared to newer stuff. Anyway, moving on to stage number 2, titled Sophistication. People gather in the bar for all sorts of different reasons. They each have their own axe to grind, but after weighing the pros and cons, decide to work together over a few rounds of beer. However, before they can even take 2 steps out the door, the temporary truce falls apart violently. Such is the life of bounty hunters. And let's begin. Stop her! Stop that monster! Look at how many people she's already taken out! Why not? You're always going on about how strong you are. I can't do it. She's a fucking catastrophe, can't you see? Speaking in Hungarian.
All that standeth before me shall perish. All that beareth arms against me shall return to dust. All that craveth death, step forth.
What the hell are you mumbling about? Captain? Where'd the captain go? The captain fell into the river! She sent him flying with just a single blow.
Oh, I forgot they can't understand me. Oh well. Tell me, where is she?
She? What are you talking about? Don't ask me, I don't know anything. You'll regret this. Hey, don't just start running. Pull the captain out of the river first.
That person... Do you know her? She might be my co-worker. But wasn't I the one who was appointed to this job? It took me forever to pry this job from Meteorite too. Maybe she's here on another mission. Well, seems like the bounty hunters are retreating. It's now or never. This is our chance to get out of the village. If there are other operators coming to the village, we might even have the upper hand. Carol, the staircase is really dark. You should hold on to me. Will you stop to talk to her? If possible, then I might...
Ow!
Whoa!
My nose! My nose! This door sprang open on its own!
Huh? Why is someone crouching here? Granny, what's going on?
Everyone shut up! Shh.
Shush?
Yeah, you peasants couldn't possibly understand. Did you not see that walking catastrophe? No bounty hunter would be stupid enough to face her head on. The only people foolish enough to swagger up to her are those who haven't seen her level entire cities.
Wow, did she really? You mean she can do that all by herself?
Quiet, don't let her hear us.
You know, I was hoping she'd notice me.
I said be quiet.
Fine, fine. Somehow these stories about her that are going around are even more outrageous than the ones we hear at Rhode Island.
Did that monster leave? I think so. Ugh, she's finally gone. Nearly gave me a heart attack.
Yeah.
I thought our team would be enough to handle this job, but how do we get ourselves into this mess? How do we even deal with something like that? Wait!
Oops.
You're the kid with the spear. Fancy running into you here. And the Chief's video too. You delivered it right to us.
Granny, don't tell me you... No, they just seem to be so well behaved I let my guard down.
Cut the chatter and hand the chief over to us. Otherwise, you're gonna be talking to the business end of this blade real soon.
You mean with that little knife?
When did the kid pull that spear out? Send a signal to call the others. Also, go release the rest of those bugs that we used to destroy their crops. We'll show him what happens when they try to resist us. And to the after part we go.
Damn, these bounty hunters sure are persistent. Bugs. Gross. Yuck, they're all sticky.
Hurry up and surround them. Let them escape this time. Don't worry if you can't beat that kid. Just keep him occupied until you can capture that village girl.
Carol, stay close to me.
Cover your ears, you two. Huh? Who are you? Where'd you come from, Fanny? Fatty, I'm just big boned.
That sounded like explosives?
Just a flashbang. Down but not going to kill anyone. Pretty good for scaring away bugs and other critters though. Let's get out of here while they're still reeling. We need to find someplace safe first.
Carol, don't lead us into some tiny attic this time. Over here then.
Clear. Visibility 14 kilometers. Forest outside the village.
These woods are quite remote. Very few people should know their way around here except me and my childhood friends. Hold on, Carol. Don't let your guard down yet.
My saw, ammo, and explosives. I put all my weapons down. Now can we talk about that treasure? I'm also a bounty hunter, but I'm not greedy like those guys back there. Those idiots were basically errand boys anyway. They wouldn't have been able to find the treasure regardless. Instead of taking the risk of trying to force the information out of this young chief here, it'd be much more efficient to just work with you.
Thanks for helping us back there, but we can't discuss the treasure just yet.
You're not a bounty hunter, are you? I can tell from a glance. I, on the other hand, know all the tricks of the trade.
So, I assume you know about the situation with the bounty hunters in Dewville?
Of course. The Tauren Troop, the Florence Fiends, the Lublin League, the Walk Vanguards. All the bounty hunters have been scouring this area for the last few days. To be honest, it's only a matter of time until someone finds the treasure. But no matter who finds it, all the different factions are gonna end up spilling blood fighting over it. At that point, not only will Dewville get nothing in return, but it might even get wiped off the face of the map. I'm sure you two understand that.
So, what can you offer us?
I'm experienced in wilderness survival, hunting, cracking codes, dismantling traps, and more. Of course, I can hold my own in a fight. You two are probably lacking in all of these things.
For starters, how should we address you?
Call me Big Bob.
Give me a second here. I need to talk to the chief first. Big Bob won't be able to hear us from over here. I can't trust a bounty hunter. He could be baiting us into a trap or working with other bounty hunters. We can't let any of those things happen. Carol, have you seen this Big Bob before? No, I clearly remember the faces of every single bounty hunter who set foot in our village, especially those that caused us harm. It'll definitely be risky to work with him. However, things are only going to be more complicated over time. We might have to work with him if we want to find this treasure as soon as possible. What about that co-worker of yours, Grani? Could she help? Can't say for sure. She's not that easy to get along with. Besides, she's a bounty hunter herself. If possible, I'd like to have the situation under control before I say anything to her. Let me think about it. I can't just straight up tell him where the treasure is. Maybe I can just give him some hints, like dangling a carrot in front of him. Do you think that would work? That's probably the best option. I'll keep an eye on him. If I sense anything wrong, I'll get you out of the forest right away. Carol, I'm going to keep you safe.
So, at least tell me what the plan is.
We need a route that takes us to Mount Terret in the shortest time possible.
If you want to reach Mount Terret, we're going to have to cross the northern part of the forest. Unfortunately, the part of the forest is hotly contested territory for the bounty hunters. I bet there are plenty of them out there already waiting to ambush us. However, I'll take you along a safe path.
Big Bob, we have to lay down some conditions before we agree to work with you.
Of course. Isn't that what we were going to talk about next anyway? Just tell me how we're going to split the treasure. I'm not thirsty. I don't need your water. Fine, fine. Anyway, Captain, are we still gonna keep looking for those two kids? What kind of question is that? Did you forget why we're even out here in the first place? We're a long way from the nearest city, and we barely have any signal here. Even though we probably can't count on backup, the other guys are in the same situation. This is the best chance we're gonna get. But that monster headed in the same direction too. What are you scared of? She might know how to fight, but don't forget that we know the terrain better than she does. Just wait till she discovers all the traps we laid for her. Treasures exist for us to take. Monsters exist for us to hunt. I will have it all. All I can say to that is good luck, buddy. Anyway, continuing on to stage 3, titled An Unexpected Journey. Nobody is going to give up the treasure without a fight, and the troublemakers just keep coming one after another. Obviously, most of them have no idea what a fair fight means. You took out all of my buddies? Stay away from me. I'm begging you. I'll give you my coins, my weapons, anything you want.
Where's the girl?
What are you talking about? Don't come any closer. You monster! Clear. Visibility 14 kilometers. Forest at the foot of Mount Terret. This rock. Stay close to me, you two. Watch your step and stay inside my footprints. Don't go around touching things either. I'm afraid this forest is even more dangerous than we suspected.
Is something carved on that rock?
These are marks left behind by bounty hunters. We need to take heed of these, or we may well end up stepping in a trap.
So, how are we going to avoid the traps?
Just watch me. An animal trap on a rope. How old-fashioned. Here's a rolling log trap, hidden by the foliage. Would have tripped it if we rushed forward. Miss Carol, watch your step.
Huh?
If you take another step in that direction, there's probably a spiked pitfall waiting for you.
Oh. You sure are the real deal. You're pretty good at this.
Of course, after all, I used to... It's not realistic to go around all the traps. Looks like we'll have to disarm some of them after all. The most perilous path for them will soon become the safest path for us. Let's go. Wait. Something's not right here.
Is it a trap?
No. A symbol drawn with blood. Monster? What's the meaning of this? In all my years, I've never seen a symbol like this.
Oh. Is this what I think it is?
Monster! Monster! Don't come this way!
It was you! Skadi! You're Skadi, right? So, the chief of Dewville was with you? Huh? You know Carol? Hand her over to me. Now.
Grani, something's not right about her eyes.
I can't just do that. Let's talk this over peacefully. Huh? Ow! That was just a warning. No, Miss Carol, Big Bob?
What? Why would she attack you? You know each other, right? So why?
No time to explain. Run for it. Is she still after us? Grani, I can't run for any longer.
That woman, is she really a monster? She's not even short of breath.
Why must I waste my time on you? She's really gonna kill me! Oh, what is she doing to Miss Carol? Her eyes, they're so red. Grani! No. This can't be happening. Stop!
Ambush! Now, fire! That's her right there. Walking catastrophe. Hurry, shoot her down.
Stop it!
What do you think you're doing, kid?
I don't know why she's after us, but she's still my coworker.
Get out of my way, you rascal!
Hurry up and run!
There's an opening to the east. Hurry!
No way we're letting you escape. Die, monster!
Speaking in Nigerian.
Scatter and fall.
Moving on.
We're in the clear. You okay, Big Bob? Huh? That wound on your leg.
There's some stragglers over there. They're probably from the Walk Vanguards. I can handle this on my own. Go after the ones who are fleeing.
Sure.
This kid. Hey, why are you giving me that look? Get away from me or I'll put a hole through you. Huh? You took care of them all.
That's right.
Impressive. This kid's got talent.
Stay here and don't move. I'll patch you up.
It's fine. I can take care of myself.
No means no.
You saw it, right?
Hmm.
You saw the crystallization on my body, right? Are you trying to get yourself infected?
Our mission at Rhode Island is to help all the infected.
Rhode Island.
Rhode Island? Aren't you from Victoria? Former Victoria Mounted Police. Now I'm a Rhode Island operator.
Stay back, lass. I'm an infected.
Miss Carol, this might get a bit messy. You should step back a bit. Alright, I stopped the bleeding.
You do this a lot, huh? For the infected? You're not afraid of me.
A lot of my co-workers are already infected, but I can't tell who is and who isn't.
Huh?
Well, it's sometimes hard to tell until it's time to hit the showers, right?
Thanks, Shorty. You're naive, but you're a good person. Moving at the speed of light through this story. Anyway, stage 4, titled Turn State's Evidence. Even more reliable than death and taxes is the unpredictability of life. It even works on your friends, your enemies, and even your own beliefs. Clear. Visibility 14 kilometers. Mount Terret Tunnel. We'll be safe after we enter this tunnel. At the other end of this tunnel is Mount Mortica, which won't have very many bounty hunters. As for that skadi, I used to scoff at those rumors that described her as a living avalanche. Turns out, I learned the truth today. I was expecting her to be a bit stronger than your average schmuck, but those rumors turned out to not be exaggerated after all. No wonder why the guys at the bar always looked at me like I'm crazy when I laughed at them for being terrified of her. Now it's my turn to be terrified.
It's true. I heard the same rumors are going around in Rhode Island too. I've also never been sent on a mission with her before. I knew that she was really powerful, but I never expected this to happen. I didn't even know that she was a bounty hunter before.
She's one of the most infamous bounty hunters out there. Now that she's also after the treasure, we're going to have our work cut out for us. I have no idea if the two of us will be able to beat her to it.
If that's the case, does that mean my village?
Don't worry, I think she'll drive the rest of the bounty hunters away. Though, she might destroy a few villages in the process.
I don't think she's here for the treasure. I can't let something like that happen.
So, your Rhode Island or whatever will hire just about anyone.
No Rhode Island operator would ever harm others recklessly for their own selfish gain.
Well, you seem nice enough, and even did me a favor. However, the fact that your Rhode Island is enabling skadi, an entity who knows only destruction, makes me question whether your organization truly seeks to help the infected. Furthermore, as someone stricken with neuropathy, I've never seen Rhode Island do anything to help those like me. We're still abused wherever we go.
Big Bob.
What? Got nothing to say to that. Honestly, I have no idea why you have so much faith in an organization like that. As far as I can tell, their claim of wanting to help the infected is just lip service. In the end, all they see is money. What's the deal with Rhode Island anyway? In this world, there's nothing that speaks louder than the coins in my hand.
Sorry.
What are you apologizing for? You're still a kid, and you still can't tell between ideals and reality, nor do you know your worth. But all of this is perfectly normal.
No, that's not what I meant. I know that I'm still lacking. It's just that, whether as a police officer or as an operator, I've met a lot of infected. I wasn't able to save them all because I was lacking. Rhode Island is the same.
In other words, they're useless? That's right. When the infected were slaving away underground, locked away in remote places, or being killed for no reason, where was Rhode Island?
Even when we try our hardest, we sometimes still come up short. That's true for both me and Rhode Island. Despite that, I'll never give up on any innocent infected who I see. Rhode Island is the same. Sorry, Big Bob.
I told you, you're just a kid. What good does it do to hammer you with my grievances? But that skadi, your co-worker, would not hesitate to point her weapon at you or abduct Carol to seize the treasure. Can you say with confidence that someone like that would share your ideals and work with you to help the infected?
I don't know what skadi plans on doing, so I can't answer that. However, I trust that if Rhode Island took her in, then she must have her reasons.
You can forget my rambling then. I overstepped my bounds.
It's okay. Anyway, our priority right now is to help Miss Carol find the treasure.
I'm just dead weight now, with this injured leg. I never thought I'd be the one burdening two little girls.
Big Bob, we'll only consider you a burden on one condition. And that's if you don't plan on sharing the treasure with us.
Oh?
Mr. Bob, I wasn't disgusted by your condition. It's just that I was a bit scared. I'm from the sticks, and I haven't seen many infected people, but even I can tell that you're enduring a lot of hardship. I apologize if I was rude to you before.
Don't worry about it. Huh. As long as we find the treasure and you get me my share, I'll be a happy camper.
Mm-hmm. The treasure is important to our village, but we only need enough to resolve our problems. Mr. Bob, you'll be able to get your fair share. That's why Grani and I need help, and we'll aid you as well. Right, Grani? Of course. In any case, we need to get moving soon.
Our next destination should be Mount Mortica. That mountain was named after some knight who died long ago. If my intuition is correct, then that should be where the treasure is located, right?
However, there are a lot of caves up ahead. It will take an average person weeks to search them all.
Of course, that's why we can't do this without you. There's no way we're going to hand you to the red-eyed woman.
Please, lead the way then.
Sounds like a plan. Wait a moment. There's some movement near the tunnel's exit. Someone, help! Save me! It's the infected! What do you do to him? I didn't even do anything. He just tripped over himself. Huh.
They're from Reunion?
You guys.
Big Bob, what are you doing? These guys aren't your ordinary...
Say no more. We're going to have to fight. Quick, capture them before they get away. And moving on to the after part. This one's limping. Take him out first. Grani, at this rate we're all gonna be dead meat.
Even if that's the case.
Quick, take Carol and go. I'll only end up slowing you down with this bad leg. I'll find a way to meet up with you later. Hurry!
It's a promise then. Make sure to come and get your share of the treasure.
Just go. They ran away. Alright, who wants to play?
The sounds of fighting are quieting down. But we can't afford to rest yet, Carol. Sorry. I'm fine, but Mr. Bob, what about him? He might need some time. Need some time? Are you saying... Carol, are you okay? Sorry, I just tripped over this root. Here, take my hand. Thank you. Can you walk? I'm fine. It's just a bruise. As you said, it's best that we keep moving. Once we cross this forest, we'll reach the foot of Mount Mortica. We need to find the second cave, halfway up the mountain. We can only get in through the cave entrance. Yeah, once inside, we'll still have to follow some paths in the darkness. But I know the way. The treasure is hidden in the deepest part of the cave. Well, in that case... Whoa, what was that, an explosion going off in the distance? That can't be good. Listen closely. There's the sound of screaming as well. Someone's fighting. It's not over yet. Carol, are you scared? Yes, I am. But in order to protect my village and return peace to these lands, I have to do this. I see. You're really brave. Huh? Don't worry about it. Anyway, Let's keep moving.
Blasting through this story, moving on to stage 5, titled Different Opinions. It's said that no great fortune comes without sin, because the path to wealth is always paved with violence and bloodshed.
So, this really is the only entrance to the cave, huh? Mm-hmm. It's like a maze inside the cave, but the village elders have brought me here several times before, including when I succeeded the previous chief. I might just be imagining things, but don't you think the shouts from inside the forest are getting louder? Things are only going to get worse if we run into any more delays. Carol, you know your way around this cave, right? I'd like you to go inside and retrieve the treasure right now. Huh? What about you? I'll stay at the entrance. No way. Huh? Carol, you're going to face the bounty hunters alone? That's too dangerous. You'll be... If I can't help you secure the treasure, I'd be letting down the entire village. And you as well. But I don't want to lose you. This isn't the time for or place for you to play hero. What's wrong with playing the hero? Even with their hearts impaled by the enemy's blades, the king's knights still held on to their spears. I refuse to run away. Grani. Besides, Carol, this isn't just my battle. It's also your battle. Perhaps you will run into danger along the way, but as long as we can restore peace to this land, we must face our destinies head on. I trust that you'll find the treasure. But if I'm alone, the treasure... Trust me. No matter what, I'll protect you. Back when I rescued you, I promised that nobody would ever hurt you again. Not even a single strand of hair on your head. Even though you're just a kid. I'm no such thing. I'm just vertically challenged. I'll do as you said, Grani.
Those damn white masks. Why do they always show up at the worst times? Worthless scum, all of you. You don't even have the right to challenge us for the treasure. Huh? What are you talking about? This has long been our turn, so you'd better get lost or else.
From this angle, I can see the fighting. It seems that the bounty hunters have gotten into a brawl with Reunion. No matter who approaches this cave, I'll make sure I...
Let's make a run for the cave while those imbeciles duke it out. Wait, what's that kid doing here?
You shall not pass.
Ugh. It's...
Out of my way, all of you. I'm not in the mood to play around.
And moving on to the after part. You meddling brat! Your head's practically split open. Just do what's good for you and get out of our way.
This is nothing. I've been through worse in my daily training. How many of them are left? Forget it, I lost track. As long as they don't make it inside. Earthquake? Huh? Is that an avalanche over there? Why though? You've gotta be kidding. She can even smash through a stone wall that thick.
A new entrance opened up over there. Hurry, let's get in there.
Damn it, those guys are definitely going to swarm in through that new passageway Skadi just created. I have to find Carol. Stop right there. Skadi. Unbelievable. Not even a mountain can stand in her way. Those rumors really were true. Where's the girl? I'm not telling you. I'm not the only one after that thing. You ought to cooperate before I'm forced to do things the hard way. I can't just hand Carol over to you if you don't tell me what's going on. So, you intend to impede a mission from Rhode Island? What mission? You didn't even tell me anything about that. Unless you... Hey, don't just start swinging at your comrades. I'm not your comrade. This is your last chance. Take me to see that girl. No chance in hell. My mission is to keep her safe. Damn, all she did was tap her sword against my lance, but it feels like my arm is about to snap. Do you think you can really protect her with abilities of this caliber? Whether or not I can has nothing to do with whether or not I will. Huh? Wait a second. Watch out!
That ought to have done the trick. Yeah, No, we didn't get her. She's still unscathed.
You again?
The living catastrophe. You're the one who hurt the captain. We can't let you leave alive.
Now's my chance.
Don't you even think about it.
You guys really should worry about holding her back first.
Huh? What just happened? That kid just vaulted over our heads.
See you later, skadi. You... Sorry. When you're ready to explain to me what's going on, maybe then we can talk about Carol. Stop. Get back here. Sorry again.
How could you just let her go like that? She's too fast for us to catch. Whatever. Let's just deal with this one first. With how much bigger you are, I bet you can't leap over us.
You're all dead. It really is like amazing here with all these winding paths. Carol was right. What's a bounty hunter doing here?
Save me.
Poor guy. He looks like he got pummeled a few times. But skadi is still outside the cave, right? What's this opening? It looks like the wall was blasted open. That must mean... You already figured it out.
I'm a pretty good actor, right?
So it was your doing.
Alright, and we continue on to the final stage of this narrative. Stage number 6, Golden Triangle. Everyone has their own path. You choose your path while she chooses hers. Some roads may be more dangerous than others, but we all reach the same destination in the end. A few years ago, we became the infected. We were forced to live among the shadows. Overnight, peace became a luxury for us. Originally, we thought that the reunion movement would be able to change our lives, but... Still, nobody would sell us bread or provide us shelter. Nothing had changed at all. My brothers and I left, and we drifted from place to place until we heard about the treasure. That is what brought me here. This time, if we're able to get our hands on the treasure, we'd be able to travel to Columbia, far, far away. There the infected can form communities and even own land. That is why, Grani, for my brothers, I need this treasure. It's not far. I can feel it. You did well, but it's a shame. Hey, lady, you!
Out of my way. I don't care who you are, or what you plan on doing, but you shall disappear from my sight.
If there is really no other way, skadi, then I'll fight you to the very end.
So these are the types of people you've chosen to ally yourself with. What will happen to Dewville after you take the treasure?
No matter what happens, they will survive. The same cannot be said for us. Even though I haven't known you for long, I can tell what kind of person you are. You aren't prejudiced against the infected, unlike that monster standing next to you.
Skadi probably isn't prejudiced either. She just wants you out of her way, infected or not.
Grani, tell me where Carol is. You know how much this treasure means to us.
Sorry, Big Bob, but that's not a part of my mission. My only mission is to help Carol find the treasure and restore peace to her village. I don't care about any of that. Just hand Carol over to me.
What do you need that girl for anyway, you monster? Do you plan to skin her alive? Drink her blood? You already heard the kid. She won't hand her chief over to you no matter what. However, I just want the treasure. I won't lay a finger on the girl.
I've had enough of this. Grani, tell me where Carol is. All Carol wants is to protect her village. She doesn't even care about the treasure itself.
In that case, let me have the treasure then.
There is little difference between reunion and the bounty hunters.
I'm nothing like you greed-driven lot. I used to be a good-for-nothing like you, but I've seen the world for what it is. Right now, things like status or wealth are worth shit. All we want is to survive, and the treasure is going to make that happen.
I'll say it one more time. Hand Carol over to me. I won't hand Carol over, or the treasure. This is my mission.
Grani, you still have a choice. I don't want to fight you when it doesn't do either of us any good. Just let me have the treasure, and everyone walks away happy.
We already agreed that we'd give you a share of the treasure, Big Bob.
But think about my brothers. At least let me see how much treasure there is first.
If we have to resort to violence, both of you know that you're no match for me. I might not be confident in my abilities, but if I have to fight both of you, then so be it.
At least the two of us can talk things through, Grani.
No.
Then let's team up and take her down first.
Are you done talking? If we start fighting here, then there really won't be then there really will be no turning back. Grani, look, I found it. I found the treasure. It was really hard to drag it all the way out here. Mr. Bob, I'm glad that you're okay. Stay back. Huh?
There was never any turning back for us.
Huh? Carol? Skadi! Why did you use a non-damaging explosive?
I owe these girls a favor. But next time, I'll be using the real ones.
Skadi! You don't care about the treasure, nor do you want to hurt Miss Carol. That's why you shielded her instead of grabbing the treasure and making a run for it. I'm not after the treasure. What I want is the answer that Carol holds. Why didn't you say so in the first place? What's the point of playing the villain anyway? Wouldn't kill you to be a bit more frank? I don't want for others to get caught up in my mission. But the mission objective this time is very important to me. Of course, I can imagine. Even though we have different missions, we are working towards the same thing, right? We should be helping each other out instead. I guess we are going to have to fight over the treasure after all. Skadi, make sure not to hurt him too badly.
Grani!
I'm really sorry, Big Bob, but this might hurt a little.
And of course, this is where we go into the battle, but before that we have a description to add, which is the description for Big Bob. And it says, one of Reunion's squad leaders. He wears a heavy blast suit and attacks with an electric chainsaw. He has been spotted leading peripheral operations in some remote areas and is known to be a seasoned combatant and commander. Due to his devastating attacks and extreme survivability, proceed with utmost caution. As a small little bonus here, and I only found this out when I was wanted to look something up on the wiki about him. Apparently, according to his raw stats, I think it was his defense value. His defense value should be actually more in line with like an A rating than a B rating, but it's still written here in game with a B, which I like. I like the fan theory on that, that he is just a very big softy on the inside, so even if he's A rated on defense, or should be, he's just a big softy. Anyway, we shall proceed now into the battle stage. This is the group, and like always, I will let the game run on 2 times speed until Big Bob starts moving later throughout it. So, enjoy! Perfect. I could have not planned this any better. Anyway. By the way, as a weird side trivia, I remember back then when this released, and I don't think I was the only one, but that was when the game was still in its infancy on global. I remember struggling on the big boy here until I figured something out. Not many of my units were very high leveled, and well, it was still a learning curve, let's put it that way. He was definitely tough, at least a tiny bit. So then, let's proceed into the after story. As I thought. Bob, you're bleeding. We can't let you bleed for nothing. I can still... No, that's enough. Bob, how much blood have we shed over the years?
Do you intend to continue?
We fight for our survival, so why would we throw away our lives? I admit defeat. I'm not strong enough.
Sorry, Mr. Bob, but without this treasure our village is doomed. Step away from that chest. Give me the key. Huh? The moment you unlock the chest, you will die. But This is something that we've safeguarded for generations. My father once said that taking care of this key was one of our most important duties. After you use that key, it will cut open your hand and drink your blood. If it comes into contact with someone not of the Kuranta bloodline, it will break. Hand the key over to me. I can't. This key holds the future of everyone in the village. Is that true, Skadi? The person who hid the knight's treasure took drastic measures in order to protect their secrets. Only those who possess the true dauntless bloodline of Kazimierz may open the path. Only those who fear not sacrifice and possess the true dauntless bloodline of Kazimierz may open the path. Although I knew I would have to make some sort of sacrifice to open the chest, I didn't expect it to be like this. But I've already made up my mind. For the sake of everyone in the village, I must open this chest. Grani, if something happens to me, please sell the treasure and distribute the money among the villagers. I'm sorry, Father. Wait! Huh? Carol, can I see the key real quick? Sure. This key isn't that big, is it? Even though it's not too big, the average person won't be able to survive losing this much blood. In other words, this monstrous key only sucks out a fixed amount of blood? Carol? I'll open the chest. What? Huh? If you do that, Grani, you'll... It's okay. Sorry, Carol. Hey, Skadi, make sure to catch me if I pass out, alright? Stop, Grani, don't! Grani!
A few days later. Clear. Visibility 12 kilometers. Outside the bounty hunter camp. You bunch! How dare you show your faces here? Assemble! Everyone get over here!
What a pain. Why do I have to deal with these bounty hunters? Well, we helped you find the key you wanted, so it's your turn to help me with my mission. As a matter of fact, if you were here earlier, we wouldn't even need to hire other people to help the villagers. Not my problem. There are quite a few of them, considering you just recovered from that. Are you sure you can handle them? Isn't that why you're here? Let's just get this over with. I'd like to get back to Rhode Island. Alright, let's do this then. Carol is waiting for us too.
Sorry, I wasn't able to help you after all.
It's fine. The villagers wouldn't probably be shocked to see infected around here. So let's just keep this between us.
Anyway, thanks again. I'm grateful for the decision you and Grani made.
Don't mention it. If we're all done here, then I'm going home. Hey, wait up! Sorry, Carol. Let's head back to the village first. There are plenty of things we still need to do. Okay. Also, Big Bob, make sure to take care of yourself. If you ever need treatment, remember to swing by Rhode Island.
Wait, kid. Here, this coin is for you.
Oh! I'll be sure to cherish this.
Months later. A letter from Big Bob. Good day. Bob here. I'm writing this letter to you from a manor in the outskirts of Columbia. We're all been doing well, even though some problems never go away as the infected. Just being able to live with the sun shining upon our faces is more joy than we could ever have imagined. Thanks to the kindness of Grani and a little girl named Carol, who decided to leave us with the reminder of the treasure after repairing their village, I was able to settle down peacefully with my brothers. We already have everything we need to be self-sufficient, and we're even planning to try growing hops. This was all made possible by that Dewville treasure. That, of course, is an entirely different story. Real interesting, but I won't go into the details here. I've also slightly changed my views about some things. And I know that you've long held your own opinions about this too. Just know that Reunion is not the only place that the infected can go. I know you'll be able to make the decision that is right for you. I miss you a lot. I hope that I will see you in Columbia one day. Signed, Bob. To Mudrock.
I'm glad to hear that.
Yep, that was the first tease to Mudrock. All the way back then. But we are not done yet. We need to round up this story with a couple of extra scenes. Like I said, these scenes are placed on the EX stage 1 and 3 and the HX stage 1 and 3. So we are beginning with the EX ones over here on the left. However, I will be adding only the titles here because the descriptions are mostly meant for the stages themselves, for the battle stages themselves, that is. So we shall do title, then scene, and so for the rest of them. Anyway, EX1, titled True Grit. And this is the after part, unlocked after beating the stage. We should stuff him into a sack and hang him on the mast at dawn. We should slit his throat and offer him to the ocean as a tribute to the raging hurricane.
That same dream again. Who is it? Oh, it's just you. I can't even seem to remember your name. That doesn't matter. Just treat me like any normal Rhode Island operator. You look like you're in pain. It's just another nightmare. Dark fragments swirling in my consciousness, hidden beneath the shadows of that broken church. When I approach them, they turn into shackles and drag me down into the deep sea. But soon there will be a way to escape your torment. Huh, is that so? That'd be great, but why should I trust you? Huh. Your aura, it I'm quite familiar with it. No, it's your smell. It's an intense, pungent smell. The smell of blood. Their smell. The smell of the deep sea. It's a familiar and abhorrent smell. Is that so? Can you tell me your name? Skadi. Interesting. So, why did you decide to show up here? You're not supposed to be here without permission from kal'tsit, unless you're not afraid of me ripping you to pieces. I am afraid, just like everyone else. However, I am used to fear. It's time to go. By the time I come back, things may have already moved forward. However, you can forget all about me, just like before. Where are you going? To where the secret is buried. A place far, far away from you.
Our next scene is on stage EX-3, titled Dances with Wolves.
Dear Grani, we've already discussed the Kazimierz Knights extensively. However, there are still some details I haven't clarified with you. This concerns your mission and the Knights' treasure as well. There may be a cluster of knight tombs by the destination you're being deployed to. Even now, the Kazimierz Knights maintain a certain tradition. When a knight passes away, a large amount of their property is often buried with them. Of course, their followers have to build a tomb for them according to their instructions first. The riches buried in these tombs are usually known as Knights' treasures. The information regarding these treasures have been exchanged and passed around between networks of bounty hunters and messengers. The reason why these treasures are so attractive to scoundrels and thieves is because they often contain more than just expensive goods and coins. It is said that some tombs house secret weapons and equipment designed by the knights themselves. The treasure could also be some secret that the knights spent their entire life guarding, or something that involves even higher stakes. These items can be sold to specialty merchants or even to the black market for astronomical sums. Needless to say, there are even political entities such as Colombia that take a keen interest in buying these relics or hiring someone to excavate them. That's another reason why bounty hunter activity will be high in your operation area. These underground tombs are often affected by catastrophes and other natural disasters, sealed away a lot or lost forever in the depths of the earth. However, there may also be unearthed tombs waiting to be discovered. You may come across one of these tombs during your mission. According to the Kazimierz Index, a cluster of Expedition Knights tombs overlaps with where you're being deployed. If these records are correct, these tombs are likely to contain more than just currency, but also some dangerous artifacts. Even if these knights wanted to gift these items to someone they knew, the recipients likely would have no idea of the power these artifacts hold. In the same vein, the last time a Kazimierz nomadic city passed through the area was some 20 years ago. That is not good news, of course. The greater the benefits, the greater the risk as well. The scoundrels trying to get their hands on a portion of these treasures are usually a lot greedier and also better at sniffing out these treasures than ordinary civilians. This area is too remote for authorities to care about. While there will be less risk of interference, it also means that this area will be totally lawless. If possible, please help me find out what these knights' treasures really are. And do be careful. From Nearl. Isn't this a bit too long-winded? Forget it. I probably shouldn't give that kid too much pressure. I know she'll be able to handle this job just fine. Yes. How did I end up writing about such serious things again? I should start over and use a lighter tone. What should I write? Oh no, there's something I have to warn Grani about. It's something she absolutely needs to know.
And now we continue over in the HX stages. The first one, titled The Treasure of the Kazimierz Mortica.
Grani, are you leaving? What about Miss Skadi? Yeah, it's about time I head back to Rhode Island for my next assignment. I'll find the time to come and see you. As for Skadi, she's a bit of a loner, so she left by herself. With Skadi's infamy well known around here, the bounty hunters should steer clear of this place from now on. That's true. It might take a while for us to rebuild, but this is the beginning of our new lives. Well, take care. Come and visit us during the next harvest season. We'll treat you to something special. Sounds good to me. Oh, right. A messenger just brought this letter. It's addressed to Dewville, but it says here that it's for you. Oh, it's an envelope from Rhode Island. They must have found me through the liaison officer's directory. This place is off the grid, so that probably made it harder for everyone. Let's see here.
To Grani.
Skadi has set off for Dewville without our permission. She's not there on a mission. Be careful. Good luck, Nearl. Come on, tell me something I don't know. Hey, what are you doing, Grani? Making a paper airplane. Rhode Island stationery is some high quality stuff. Planes like these fly a long way.
Well, Nearl's letter came late. Alright, and time for our final piece here, which is on HX-3, titled Once Upon a Time in the West. However, before I begin, I will, to anyone who is only listening to these stories, profoundly apologize right now, because the two people who are gonna be talking during this, let's put it this way, they both talk very monotone. If you look at the screen for a moment when it starts, you'll know what I mean. Anyway, let's begin.
Stop right there, kal'tsit. You're back. So, did you think things through, or... You wanted this, right? Take it. You acted unilaterally, without permission. I do not interfere in the private affairs of our operators, nor do I ask them what they did in their free time, as long as they do not tarnish Rhode Island's reputation. I hope that whatever you did does not cost you your position in Rhode Island, Skadi. I'm not here for your snide remarks. I'm well aware of the rules. You needed something from me, and I need something from you. What do you want from me, then? Information. Do you consider the information I have to be worth as little as this key? I can crush this stone in my palm in a heartbeat. I'm sure you don't want that. What I do know is that you went to Dewville in Kazimierz under pretense of being on a mission, and even got into a conflict with a fellow operator. She kept quiet about what happened both there and at Rhode Island for your sake. But in fact, I never assigned any such mission to you. The core has already been filled with blood. This is not your blood. You wouldn't dare shed your own blood into this soil. It's Grani's blood. You've already done something like this. I'll repay her. You don't need to remind me. I know this is what you need. A key, a core, a memory block. Whatever it might be, I just have to obtain it. Skull, flame lung, yellow smoke. I took them all out. Otherwise, they surely would have taken this item. You wouldn't be able to barter with them because you can't give them what they want. You need the stone, and I need the information you have. What a farce. I don't need any of these components to form the full picture. You're bound to Rhode Island by contract, and you're bound to me likewise. You give me what I need, and I give you what you need. I rarely see you this aggressive. Where's your usual laziness and snark? You want to know where Spectre's Originium nerve agent came from? How'd you find out?
Kal'tsit, answering in Igerian.
Abyssal hunters are bound by blood. There is nothing I don't know. Give me the info. Very well. As long as you follow my every order, I might even decide to help you. The condition is, as long as you follow my every order. I only follow those who are trustworthy. I never go back on my word.
And this would be later continued in Undertides. But yeah, definitely setting up for bigger things. And for those of you who are new to the story, if you remember me quite clearly say that you lack a key bit of information here as to what links this story outside of skadi to the bigger picture in Undertides and Stultifera Navis. Yes, it was a literal key. It was a literal key. And I'm quite grateful that story actually kind of reminds you as well where the key was from. Because it's been, like I said at the beginning, literally 2.5 years from the implementation of this story to the events in Stultifera. Now what the key does in Stultifera? Well, you can go and listen to the narration that I did on that story and figure that out yourselves. Pretty good story, pretty good developments, and very interesting Lovecraftian shenanigans. Alright, but as always, thank you very much for listening to these narrations, and to this one in specific. Once again, thank you as well for all the votes that came in on the community poll. And as always, if you like this video, please consider leaving a like, it helps me a lot in the algorithm. And obviously means a lot to me myself. And if you're new to the channel and enjoyed this narration and want to hear more, consider subscribing. There's a lot of stuff here on this channel, and at this point really almost everything is kind of voiced and voice acted, so sit back and relax and enjoy. And also I want to quickly add as well that this was kind of a joy to go through this old story, really old story, and remind myself of the events and stuff that was said, hinted at, and you know, all the little things that were pretty much just loosely placed there at the beginning until the bigger stories were probably written afterwards. And yeah, it was quite a nice trip down memory lane, I have to say. And as for the story itself, I mean, it's very short, it's very to the point. Not many characters are present outside of like a heap ton of bounty hunters and Big Bob. I did forget that they actually teased Mudrock here at the end of the story, all the way back here already. I can't remember when Mudrock came out. That was a long time after this, I think. At least. Yeah, actually, yeah. Mudrock came with Volumon. That was quite some time after that. But yeah, anyway. Like I said, thank you very much for listening. This was quite enjoyable to go through this old story. Even though it was very short, it was nice seeing it yet again and remind myself of the events that were transpired through it. And yeah, we shall do more of these old stories when the next little hole in the schedule pops up with either some kind of rerun or I think there should be the contingency contract next month, which will be more than likely like a 3-week period of no story content, so we'll have time to cover a couple of old stories in that period. So We'll see. Look forward to more community voting stuff on the channel. So keep a lookout for that one when the time comes, of course. But anyway, thanks again. I hope you have a fantastic day wherever you are, and I will see you in the next one. Until then, bye bye.